Hello, beautiful friends. It's Erika here to do an energy update. First of all, welcome to all of you to my videos if you're new, and if you're returning, welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at the overall energies going on with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And because it happens to be the Libra full moon, I got to tell you guys, this has been an intense week, and I have been doing a lot of healing sessions, past life sessions with clients, because there's a lot of karma being released right now. And if you've been feeling really heavy, extra emotional leading up to this Libra full moon, this is all about releasing, all about relationships, endings of cycles of relationships. And a lot of this comes from past lives. So if you're going through a rough time, please know that it is important, and it's also time to have compassion for yourself and just to honor the things that are coming out, let them come out. This is a way of releasing it from your energy body. And in any case, it's been a really intense week, and it's been a very beautiful week because of all the shifting and clearing that's been happening. So with that, really quickly, I'm completely fully booked up with my energy healing sessions, and I opened up some more spots. So if you've been wanting to get one and you weren't able to book one because the schedule is completely full, I have opened up just a few more spots here. So if you're interested in that, or we're trying to order one, please, or schedule one, just know that I've added a few more to the calendar. So if you're drawn to doing that, then I have added some more to the calendar. So with that, I'm going to get started. This is gonna be just an energy update, but I'm also gonna do a little bit, because it is the Libra full moon, the second Libra full moon. I am gonna be looking at what's being released, because full moons are all about what is being released, what is releasing. And so we're gonna have that bit of a spin in today's energy update. Now, even if you're watching this down the road and it's not at the full moon and the messages resonate, that's Spirit's way of bringing you the messages when it's intended. So my readings are intended to be timeless, but so don't worry if you're watching this and it doesn't happen to be right when I'm recording it, okay? So what we're going to start off with here is get an overall energy card for each, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. What's their overall energy at this time? And I'm going to be using the Archangel Power Tarot for the divine masculine and the Psychic Tarot for the divine feminine. And I do want to thank you guys for your beautiful feedback about my extended videos, because I'm not open for personal readings anymore at this time. I may open up to them in the future, but right now I'm really focused on doing my energy healing sessions, because that's where I'm really able to get massive, massive shifts for those of you going through this journey. You know, really doing the deep work, the shadow work, the the clearing of the unconscious patterns that continue to have us manifest. So that's why I'm no longer doing personal readings, because all of my one-on-one time is dedicated towards that right now, because that's where we're getting the biggest shift for the collective, when I'm able to do these healing sessions for those of you that are doing this work. Many of my clients are people who are doing important work. Many of you maybe even, watching some of their videos on YouTube, and that's where my time is spent, which is why I'm not doing the personal video readings at this time. But please know that my extended readings, for those of you that have been getting it, I've been getting constant, you can see the comments on the channel, but it's like getting a private reading. So if I'm tuning into your energies, then the extended reading is going to be getting more in depth, and not even more in depth, but certainly more in depth, but it's also it's kind of a different form of a reading. So in our extended for this, we're going to look more at the actual dynamic between the two. So in this one, this is a reading in and of itself. So, and I will be giving some guidance at the end of the video as well. So, okay, enough. I know a lot of those of you that do this work, you want to just get going with the reading, but you also get so many questions. We get so many questions, guys, and emails with questions that the intros are not only where we can give some basic information for people that are brand new that haven't listened to any videos before, but it's also where we get to address some questions that we're getting, because I get hundreds of emails a day that I literally can't respond to personally. So this intro is the opportunity for me to be able to address some of those questions. So let's get started. All right, first let's get an overall energy for the divine masculine, please. Where's the divine masculine at this time? And he's getting freedom, living wild and free, choosing your freedom, claiming your independence. So this really is a beautiful energy, because this is about living free from constraint, free from the limiting beliefs, free from the patterns of the past, free from expectations of other people. He is choosing his freedom right now. He can choose to stay stuck, or he can choose his freedom. And freedom in this depiction is all about soaring above the clouds, seeing things from higher consciousness, claiming his independence. It's like, I feel I'm getting this image of one of my other decks. It's the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. There's the image of the Death card, where in that card, I wonder if I can just grab it really quickly, if I can find it quickly, where he's shedding the old. He's shedding the old and he's emerging out in the light. And it's a very powerful image. And I'm going to find it just to show you guys that don't know what I'm referring to, because this is exactly the energy I'm feeling for the divine masculine right now. Of course, it's going to be the last one. Here it is. Oh, and it's called Release. Shocker. Full moon equals release. What are you releasing? Well, there we go. Spirit's already off to a good start this morning, right? Choosing freedom, choosing to be free of the old things that have held him back, held him in the dark. He's ready to emerge out in his light. He's ready to soar above the clouds from higher consciousness. He's claiming his independence. When he is full of his light, he is free. He's free to be who he is. So I'm going to just leave that there until I use that deck later, but in the extended. But it's, again, I guess no accident, right, that here it is coming in on the full moon reading. Let's see what's going on for the divine feminine. What's going on for the divine feminine? And she's getting innocence. Take time out to play, nurture your inner child. Yeah. Live with a childlike sense of wonder. To me, this is representative of the compassion and the gentleness necessary right now with self, divine feminine. There's, with all of these big energies coming up, and the emotional energies coming up. If you've been weepy, if you've been like up and down like a roller coaster the last couple of days leading up to today, this really feels more about the inner child. And if you've been working too hard, divine feminine, this is time for you to go and do something that's fun, enjoy yourself, do something that makes you smile. Whether it's go watch a movie by yourself, that makes you laugh, or, something that you don't usually allow yourself to do is coming through. And I'm just getting such a nurturing energy coming through this card today for the divine feminine. So some of you may be taking a bit of a mental break from this whole thing. Some of you may be just like, oh my gosh, can I just go offline for a couple of days for the weekend? Let me just take some time to myself. Let me just have some fun. Let me just, stop thinking about all this heavy stuff. That would be definitely some good guidance for you, right? So let's see what's going on specifically with the Divine Masculine. Let's look here. And as you guys know that have been watching me, I am not a by-the-book tarot reader. I'm a channeler, and I read cards intuitively, and I can see the same card 100 different times and get 100 different interpretations because it's the energy I'm responding to and not the textbook meaning of the card. So let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine. And that means a lot of times I typically don't read reversals in tarot decks. But if they're coming in reverse and Spirit is, okay, I'm going to stop talking right now because I don't need to explain that. And it's explained on all my other videos, so there you go. Whoa, guys. 4 of Gabriel, Ace of Ariel, and Ace of Raphael, which equates to the 4 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Recent past, current energy, what's coming in. And as you guys know, when I do these videos, I'm drawn to using different decks at different times. And it's always because all of the decks have slightly different interpretations, some different things, and I'm just going to go with what's coming in here. Recent past here with the four of Wands. This is what's beautiful in the fact, you guys know I hardly ever use this deck. I don't know if I've ever used this deck on one of my videos on the channel. I know I've used it in my private readings, but I don't think I've ever used it on the channel. And there's a reason I'm using it today. Because 4 of Wands this is about stability. This is about abundance. This is about celebration, getting some beautiful, it's celebrating the efforts, your efforts in a positive way, what you've worked for. And what's really interesting is in this deck, look at one of these, the meaning here, release yourself from burdensome situations. Release, finding freedom. So definitely the Divine Masculines have recently released themselves from situations that have prevented them from happiness, abundance, true happiness and abundance, true stability. So this certainly could be previous partnerships, relationships that they have recently released. If they've not recently released a relationship, this is about letting go of some sort of situation that has held him back from living in his fullest. Now, those of you guys that got the extended reading last time, you know what I'm talking about relating to the 2 pages that came out. The page of Wands, which is all about creativity, passion, being who the masculine is, and the page of Swords was who he was expected to be. So I love the consistency and the continuity between these readings. It is just magical. And those of you guys, I do these videos all the time and I'm here, but I got to tell you, to be able to witness this transition is incredible. The subtleties, the nuances, how things move forward. Because I know many of you guys watch these videos and it feels like it's the same message all the time. Well, it's not. It may seem that way. And there's also reasons why you see certain videos at certain times. But there are nuances and differences in the collective that unless you did this every day, you probably wouldn't notice. But I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt from the core of my being, it's magical. Okay. Current energy here is the Ace of Ariel. This is the Ace of Pentacles. There certainly could be something new that's coming in. For those of the masculines where this is career related, where they've left some sort of career situation and they're embarking on something new, it's here. It's going to lead to more stability. It's going to lead to more abundance. For those of the masculines that are it's about relationship. The Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Ariel, is about, a brand new opportunity coming in the physical plane. This can be a very sincere, very grounded offer. If you're a twin flame or you're talking about divine or sacred union, This can be also landing the union that already exists in the higher dimensions into the physical plane with the Ace of Pentacles. It's like, here it is. We're actually bringing it into the earthly plane. Followed by the Ace of Raphael. This is emotions overflowing, like wonderful emotions, relationships moving to the next level, fulfilling, loving, romantic relationships. This also relates to intuition. It's like the divine masculines could be getting this flood of intuitive energy because he's connected to his emotional body in such a new way. I mean, I think I could really just end this reading right here, to be honest with you, because the majority of you guys watching are the divine feminine energy. And again, I don't say it all the time, but divine feminine, divine masculine is not gender specific. It is energy. So you could be any gender and relate to either the masculine or the feminine. And sometimes you might relate to one or the other because the energies are very merged right now. So sometimes you could flip-flop. Before they used to be more further apart and it was more easy to distinguish between whether you were masculine or feminine energy, but now it's a little harder. And I know I'm getting some questions about that. That's why I'm mentioning it. But many of you guys are the divine feminine energy watching this, and you're kind of just interested in the masculine, but I hope that you will continue to listen to understand what's going on with yourself, because that's really where the journey starts to hit momentum, is when the divine feminine begins to focus on herself and her work, her mission, her happiness. That's when things really kick into gear. Okay, let's see where the divine feminine is at this time. We're getting the Hierophant. We're getting the Balance card. And we're getting Spiritual Strength. Okay, so 2 major arcanas coming in here for the divine feminine. So here's the Hierophant, the Justice card, and the 9 of Wands. So again, very consistent messages for the recent readings for the divine feminine. This is a time for her to maintain her spiritual strength, maintain her focus, maintain her vision. Because she's got the Hierophant, which is all about spiritual wisdom. This can be a card indicating spiritual partnership, spiritual relationship, and spiritual strength. So she's getting a lot coming in here relating to her spiritual truth. Because also this card represents a lot of not giving up. You've come a long way. Don't give up at the last, 90 yards down the field. You've got 10 yards to go. You've got 5 yards to go. Don't give up now. And this balance energy and the current energy for the divine feminine, it's an 11 card, of course, a master number of manifestation. Master number, period. It also supports manifestation. But this is the Judgment card. I'm sorry, not the Judgment, the Justice card, which about things coming into balance. Things are balancing now. The scales are equal, equal give and take, the right thing happening, wanting to do the right thing. Knowing that if you do good things will happen. It's the law of karma. So also just referring to what came through earlier with the what I was mentioning about the healing sessions I've been doing with my clients, it's all about things kind of coming back to balance, clearing the spiritual lessons. And the Hierophant, I have to say, guys, especially with what happened this week in Paris, the Hierophant represents spiritual organizations, spiritual beliefs, religious organizations. The established religions versus spirituality. What does this mean? Sometimes it means questioning what this is. So some of you guys may have recently just been very much questioning your spiritual path on this journey. but you've now come into more balance. And this is about you not giving up, staying strong. This has been a big test. You know, we're getting 2 majors here for the Divine Feminine. So this is a very big test that you've just been through. So bravo, Divine Feminines, for staying strong. Okay, let's see what's challenging the Divine Masculine right now. What is he being challenged with? The Page of Ariel. This is the Page of Pentacles. So this is an energy that comes through of learning something new. I've mastered how to be a certain way, and now I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to learn something new. Some of them may also be being challenged with what to communicate, how to communicate to their feminine. You know, what do I say? How do I make my approach? But again, coming through with the career messages here is this is about getting to work. This could be a new opportunity being presented. So you might be hearing some news of some new opportunity in the physical plane. But it does feel like this is coming through because this is what he's being challenged with. It does feel like it's like the getting to work piece. So some of the masculines could be struggling with, I want to, move forward with my feminine, but I got to get my career kind of figured out first. I got to just because I have this new thing starting and I've got to get stuff going, and let me just get that squared away first before I can really make my approach. So again, I'm getting 2 different, what I call waves. Other people have different things that they describe, the different waves of unions in the collective. But it does feel like 2 different ones. Again, there's an overlap happening here. So take what messages resonate and leave the rest. Of course, this is a general reading. But it just does feel like he's being challenged with how to communicate to his feminine. Those of them that are really about to make this approach, literally on the brink of approaching, maybe they've already started their approach in very subtle ways, texting about something totally not having to do anything with your relationship. And it's what? It just feels like they're struggling with what to communicate. So let's see what his energy is supporting the Divine Masculine. The Magician. Things manifesting, successful beginnings, what you need will magically appear. Major Arcana showing up over here now, helping him manifest. And for those of the masculines that are struggling with what to communicate, it feels like there's going to be some sort of a sign, some sort of divine intervention. And by the way, there's the Star card at the bottom, which is about dreams coming true, believing in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. So it just happens to have been showing up at the bottom. Again, another major arcana. You get just an additional message here for the masculines. The ending of a difficult situation, you're releasing, you're claiming your freedom. You're moving into this new start in the physical plane and the emotional plane. Ace of Ariel and Ace of Raphael coming together in one reading. Plus the 4 of Wands. Wow. All right, let's see for the feminine. What is she currently being challenged with? What is challenging the Divine Feminine right now? The 6 of Swords. In this deck, it's called Moving On. So some of the feminines are having a bit of a hard time with getting out of the dark, getting out of the heaviness, getting out of this really intense energy. Because see how here he's moving out of the dark energy, the dark light, and he's going into the lighter. This is a 6 of Swords. It's about moving out of change, confusion, chaos, and into something more clear, something more calm, something more light. So for some of them feminines who have been leaving significant relationships, this is what she may be being challenged with. This is why she's needing to have the spiritual strength coming in. She's been carrying a heavy burden here emotionally. But even if you've not been in another relationship, Divine Feminine, this is about remembering to seek the light, remembering to go out of the dark and into the light, out of the confusion, because the 5 is about change, but it's also about, it can be a card of confusion and chaos. So what is energy is supporting the Divine Feminine right now? The solar plexus chakra. Her confidence, her determination, not giving up. This is critical for you, Divine Feminine. Not giving up, staying strong, keeping your spiritual strength. You're almost there. Your determination to stay there, your confidence. This is going to make all the difference in the world. All right, let's look at what is being released with this full moon. And again, if it's not the full moon when you're watching this, this does not matter. Okay, if this is resonating. Get some more space here. These decks I don't use that often, so they're way in the back. They're a little harder to put away. All right, let's see what is being released. This is the archetype. What are they called? The archetype cards by Carolyn Meese. Let's see what is currently being released. Oh, and that's the other thing, guys. I am trying very hard to mention all the decks I use in my videos. So for those of you that are asking what decks I'm using in the videos that you're asking them about, I've actually mentioned them in the videos. So just know I'm going to be putting those into the videos as often as I can when I remember. Because I know you guys like to know this stuff. But what is being released with this full moon here for the masculine? What shadow aspect is being released? The martyr. Addiction to self-pity. This is why he's getting the freedom card. Look at this. See how he's like free? He's surrounded by all these flowers. Addiction to self-pity is feeling the victim, feeling stuck, feeling like the world just happens to me and woe is me. This is, I'm getting the image of Pigpen from Charlie Brown, where it's just, he's got this dust following him around all the time. This is what is being released right now for the Divine Masculine. This powerlessness, this is what he's breaking free from. Choosing his freedom, living wild and free, claiming your independence. He is no longer stuck in this energy of the martyr, feeling like he's taken one for the team, right? It's like, well, this is as good as it gets, and I guess I'm not going to have my happiness, so oh well. And I don't say that, and it's just this energy of, again, this is a shadow attribute, so this may be triggering for some of you listening if you're the Divine Masculine energy. And a lot of times things are in our unconscious. We're not aware that we've actually been doing this. But the beautiful thing about watching videos like this, getting these messages, is that once you bring it into the light, out of the dark of the unconscious, it can clear it. So what happens now that you're watching this, you're going to get this. It's learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. This is about him choosing himself. Choosing his power, choosing his freedom, choosing his happiness. Service to oneself. Taking care of him, regardless of what other people think. Let's see what's transcendent. What shadow aspect is being released for the Divine Feminine? This one wanted to come out. Oh, there's two. I'm going to take them just because they're... Oh, this isn't so... Oh my gosh. Okay, so this deck has... This is a very new deck for me, and I haven't gone in and done this, but they actually have these cards where you can put in your own. So I guess this is saying, Divine Feminine, what shadow attribute is being released for you? What do you think is being released for you? Are you aware of what you are releasing right now? What do you want to release? I'm still going to pull a card that's actually not this, but again, no accident that that's happening. And let's see if it comes out. This one now is coming out. Okay, we're getting the storyteller. So when the shadow attribute of this card, this is about what stories are you telling yourself? What stories are you telling yourself about your life, your past, your destiny, where you're going, what has happened before, in a way that is harming you? We are not our stories. Our old stories can be released. This is about not making sure that we're not stuck telling ourselves the old stories. You know, oh, relationships never work out. Or, so, you know, my masculine did this before and here he is doing it again. This is coming up for the feminine. What are you telling yourself or even telling others that is keeping you in a place of perpetuating a cycle? Because when you're telling yourself the story, you're continuing to be in that energy. All right, let's get a piece of guidance here from Michael. All right, so guys, if this is resonating for you, what we're going to do in the extended is we're going to take a look at what is going on in the union. We're also going to look at what's beginning, because with everything that's releasing, something new is coming in. So we're going to get a little bit more about this Ace of Raphael and the spiritual strength here. We're going to look at what is being released in the union. So what is happening in the union itself, how each of the divine masculine and feminine are relating to the union. What are they both consciously thinking and feeling about the other person, as well as relative to the union, as well as a lot more guidance. So these are the energies, but in the extended video, I go into more of the guidance, how to navigate these energies. What does Spirit want you to know? How is Spirit going to tune you to empower you through these energies? So that's the stuff that's going to be over on that. But before I go, for those of you that are not joining me over there, I'm going to leave you with a piece of guidance from Archangel Michael of how best to navigate this energy here. So first, for the divine masculine, what's your best guidance for the masculine? Make a commitment. Lend me your strength, Archangel Michael. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. Make a commitment to this new beginning, divine masculine, with your newfound freedom. Make a commitment to never go back to seeing things from the third dimensional perspective. This is about you always living from this higher consciousness in the 3D, releasing the old, commit to the new. Make a commitment, have courage and confidence. What a beautiful message for the masculine. Let's see what the message is for the guidance is for the divine feminine. Eternal love. There you go. There's a reason this card has come out for you, divine feminine, because you are being tested here. Don't give up. Remember, don't give up. Your confidence and your determination will make a difference. Stay moving towards the light. This is a card that comes out for me to symbolize the eternal love of divine sacred union. So I help me perceive all the love that surrounds me so that I can feel safe receiving, expressing, and giving love. What a beautiful way for this reading to finish here. Reminding the divine feminine, we started with this stay strong, you're being tested, don't give up, and then here it is, the final message from Michael, eternal love. So guys, that is the reading. If you'd like to access the extended video that's available on my website, please do click on the link below in the description box. I always put the link for the extendeds in the description box right below at the very top of the description box. So with that, guys, I send you so much love and compassion and kindness and gentleness to navigate through this time of release. Until next time, bye.